Welcome to the NoFace Show.
Let's say that the producers in the and listening to this right now have created that awesome song, and they believe they have an awesome all-star team that came out with a really nice song. What would you recommend an independent artist to do with a song? Self-release, self-release, put it out there, build a brand around it, submit it to people. Like, what would you recommend an independent artist to do right now when they have a really good demo?
Well, I mean, if it's in the EDM genre, then I think it's just a matter of contacting everybody you can, from labels to other remixers to DJs, producers, just getting it out there and seeing if maybe you can get it picked up by, different labels. There's so many labels out there right now that are actually putting out good music and have good connections. I think at that point, it's just about connecting with as many people as you can. Be open. If somebody says, hey, you know what, I think this needs to be changed, don't have an ego on it. I get demos sent to me and I'll send something back and say, hey, I think it's really good, except maybe you might want to change this part here. And some people get offended by that. You got to be open. You have to understand that if you want to move forward, you may not have it all figured out. I sure don't have it all figured out. I don't think anybody who's willing to admit it in the music industry really has it all figured out. So for me, it's all about just be open, try to contact as many people as you can, and look at some of these labels and see what they're doing. And do they have other artists who have put out music that are similar to you? Are they doing good things? And then just email and contact. And for me, I believe, like, just hound somebody until they get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah,
one's ever I'll never be mad at an artist for contacting me 10 times. I may just have missed it the first 9. So I
that's good
never,
to know.
for me, because that's how I grew up. Like, I walked in that record label every day for a year and they threw me out every day and I went back the next day. And eventually it worked. And nobody was mad at me because they understood, like, that to me shows you've got drive. You have passion. You really believe in what you're doing. Now, if I get back to somebody and say, hey, you know what, this isn't really for me, then yeah, you don't want to keep contacting someone who has already given you the chance and it's just not for them. But if you don't hear back from someone, just keep going at them. Contact as many people, put in the legwork, and try to get with a label like NoFace. Try to get with a community of people who are driven. They all have the same goal. You want to put yourself around people who are trying to do what you're trying to do, because rising tides raise all ships. So if you're in a group of friends of one of you connects, well, you're all going to rise up with that one. So support everyone else. Try to get some good vocalists on your projects, collab with writers. Just, you got to do as much as you can to get within that community of people. And that's where we start to see these breakout artists come from. It's very rare an artist just breaks out on their own with nobody around them. They're not working with anyone else. Very rare. I've not seen that in a long time. There's so many people behind these different artists that we hear about. Eventually, it's just about being part of a community and pushing forward, and be open. Always be open-minded.
Yeah, 100%. Do you feel like let's say that they do that, these artists that had a song, now they send it everywhere. Do you feel like when you get sent a song, do you want these artists to really have some sort of backbone or database with a lot of music, like or like a brand that is already created a lot of music on Spotify to be able to like work with them? Or if it's an artist's first or second song, do you feel like they should start sending it, or should they start releasing it first, have a few songs that work, and then after that start submitting so they have kind of like a name?
I mean, it's, music is music. If you've got a great song, I don't care what you've got going on. It's a great song. Well, maybe it's not your song. Like, maybe it's not for you as the artist. Maybe there's another artist out there who's going to love that song. Alicia Keys wrote for other artists for 4 years. Bruno Mars wrote for other artists for many years before we even knew who Bruno Mars was. So for me, I think, like, just, I don't look at those things. I try to work with everyone based on the talent. If somebody sends me music and it's not great, well, then it's not great. I'm in the music business. There's not much I could do with the song that I don't think has the ability to find commercial success. But I never turn an artist away because it's their first song or they don't have a big following. that doesn't matter to me, because you know, Billie Eilish had no following. Olivia Rodrigo blew up off one song. So I don't look at any of that. A lot of industry people do. They grade an artist on their following. I grade an artist on their artistry. What's the music sound like? And if it sounds good, well, now you've got a great chance, because, well, Spotify doesn't play your social media numbers. The radio doesn't show how many Instagram followers you have when your song plays. Nobody cares really about that. They think they do. But at the end of it all, you got to have music, and it's got to be good. Listeners want to hear good music. So I say send it out. Don't ever worry about, well, you know, yeah, build up your following and try to do all those things. But don't hesitate. Go from day one. You know, show your drive, show your determination. Stick to what you believe in, but have an open mind.
Such great feedback and great tips. I love it. Thank you so much. We brought that up in the secret sauce section, because that's gonna be an awesome clip that we're gonna clip. So really, 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 really good stuff over here. So just kind of moving on.